Hello and welcome each and every one of you to another episode of Soul Vibes. It is, well, one of my favorite shows to do because we explore my favorite topic, which is, well, one of my favorite topics, which is our wonderful connection with our soul self and and the wonderful life that we can create and the things that we can transform just by living a soul-filled life. So my name is Alexis Sersha, and for those that are new, welcome. And just know that the recording will be available. After the show, I will upload and then send email to each and every one. And again, welcome, and let's come into the presence of ourselves, into this space where you are, whether you are watching live or whether you're watching later, it matters not. You are just as present here with us. And come into wherever you are, whether you're sitting or standing or lying down. Feel yourself in the body. Feel yourself in the presence of self. Feel yourself feeling your body, feeling the harmony that is your body, and how important it is to this journey, and just how far we've come with our bodies, because as we know, the history of a human relationship with the body, human relationship therefore with nature, has been that the human is separate from nature. And that has caused and is causing so many issues, not only for the environment, but also within our bodies. Because it is in our own power, in our own abilities to self-heal, to self-generate, to communicate with ourselves and ourselves. And so now we journey a little bit. Let's go today on a little bit of a journey so that we can allow the next level of this communication with our body. For as most of you know, we are allowing the light body to fulfill the spaces within ourselves, to be part of this physical life. And yet the physical cells are also just as much or even more so than before an important part of this journey. For if they did not cooperate and dance with each other, then we wouldn't exist we wouldn't be able to play within this physical realm. And yet very often we forget about them until perhaps they scream out because perhaps something's not working, or we experience pain, or we experience something called aging and things like that. And then we sort of perhaps sometimes look down upon the body. So we're going to change all of this in a new way, to allow this new creator, more of you, more of who you are, to be present with you in this body. And so, of course, the journey does not start in this body. The journeys of the soul's journey into the physical reality starts when the universe was created. So just imagine yourself there. Feel yourself there, for that was a long time ago, and yet it is all in the now moment, for past doesn't exist, does it? Past is all in the now moment. So there you are, this bright, excited, incredibly alive being of light, spirit, not yet in the body, looking at this space and imagining the world that does not exist yet for you as you're standing there or floating in the darkness surrounded by space. And then you watch it and you feel it, and you allow this incredible creation of the physical world, of the universe. You watch it become, you watch it manifest itself. You watch the materials singing in joy as they come together in huge movement, perhaps sometimes violently with great force, as they transform and dance and fill up this void, what was void before, what was only your dream. You, this cute soul that you are, it was your dream, it was your imagination. And now you watch it, you experience it come to life. For not only are you an observer, but you're an active participant, for you remember this is all your energy that you're patterning into a universe. And you can feel others. You feel others, how they're joining you in creating this new adventure that you're set out on to realize, to manifest the physicalness. For you still don't know what it all means. You just dream and you desire and you wish and you want to experience something like this. And now it is becoming a reality. You feel universe come to be. Well, how did the universe come to be? First, it was a consciousness, you, and a play of energy, you. And within your energy, feel these patterns forming and dancing and transforming. Sometimes waves, sometimes particles. And all of a sudden, you find yourself just before, perhaps just before you birthed yourself into this life, into this body that is now perhaps listening to this voice, watching on the screen. You can feel yourself after all of those incredible experiences as spirit, as consciousness, experiencing the universe being birthed in your energy. Now feel yourself just before you're birthing yourself into this life. And you know that this life, it's an important one. And you know that this life, you're going to transform the limitations of human life. You're going to transform the very nature of reality that you've known thus far, even though you've had lifetimes and lifetimes within the physical reality. You have never experienced the transformation such as in this lifetime. And yet you feel yourself, you feel other lives that you have, perhaps in Sumeria, Atlantis, Lemuria, perhaps in what is now called the Middle East, in ancient civilization, South America, North America, Siberia. Perhaps before even you feel yourself before this human race was even birthed. Perhaps you were there, you feel your presence there, for you've always been and you always will be. And so these great changes have always happened on Earth. Civilizations, they come and they go, and yet you were there. You are there. So was it 1,000 years ago, or was it but a moment ago, or is it now, in this moment? And again, you're standing there as spirit, as consciousness, just before you birth yourself into this body. And you feel how you've been already involved with the body that your mother is carrying. It's still in her belly. And you can feel her love, enveloped by her love. And you feel the Father standing, loving, embracing her. And you feel their love for you, for they have helped to create your body. And yet you, the consciousness, you are the director of the body. It is for you that the cells form from one cell to two cells coming together, and they become four, and then they multiply and multiply. And then you can feel them, how you feel like a conductor of music. For this is not, you are not a dictator of your cells. You're perhaps more like a music creator. You create symphonies with your cells, and you feel how you command or ask or instruct certain cells to form your liver, to form your head, to form your brain, to form your nervous system, to form your bones. For you, your consciousness is much more actively involved with the formation of your body than what the conscious human part realizes. For it is a part of you that is involved, this part that is involved with the body is intimately and intricately involved with each cell. For each cell consciously at its own level participates in this joy, in this dance that is your body, in this dance of you as a spirit, the consciousness that lives through and expresses through this body. So to speak, you actually have a couple of consciousnesses, well, greater consciousnesses, for each cell on its own has its own consciousness. And yet they choose to work together. They choose to work together to build a heart, to continue as the heart to work, and they work together as your muscles, as your skin, as your eyes. The incredible ingenuity and science and cooperation that actually goes into that field, the miracle that it is, this dance of consciousness of you and your body. And feel how you used to feel yourself end where your skin ends. And now feel yourself expanding into your environment, into the chair, into the sofa, into the computer, into your room, into all of the things. And feel yourself expanding into all of your life. For you as a consciousness are present in all the details and in all the huge events of your life. For you are the creator, this grand, yes. And now it's time to really become aware of this expanded nature of who you are, to become and be aware of how you are conducting, creating, interacting with your own energy, with your own creations, with your own feelings, with your own inner world. For you span the cross vastness of your own inner world and the vastness of a physical universe. For as long as and as far as your eyes can see, and you can add a telescope to that, the strongest that the humans have, and you look through that, and still you only see yourself, you only see your energy at work, your creation. And so wherever you look, when you look up at the stars at night, you are there too. The stars are not somewhere outside of you. And yet now we come back to our body, your body. For these cells that work in unison, sometimes when there is not harmony, disease happen, does it not? For example, things like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all of these things. Feel how it is the miscommunication that happens. For example, with cancer, the cells that worked and danced in unison, all of a sudden the communication from you breaks down, and they revert back to their more basic selves, meaning that they still want to live, they still want to create. And yet now they no longer have this purpose to create with you as your body, but they go rogue, so to speak. They go a little bit wild in a way that they start to create their own within your body. And that's where then the issue starts to feel, how do you connect back? How do you communicate with these cells? How do you bring them back to your side, so to speak? It is the love, the self-love, of course, that opens all the doors. And so, yes, we have experienced extremes of brokenness and extremes of having to be a warrior, extremes of abandonment, extremes of being in these dark places, separation, anxiety, depression, all of these things that we feel in such a huge way from the mass consciousness. And yet we know what it's like to keep coming back to self, regardless of how broken we were, regardless of who betrayed us. Even so, it felt like it betrayed us, regardless of what we experienced, whether it was pleasant, loving, or whether it was filled with hatred and anger and all sorts of hard to feel emotions, grief, loss. And yet all throughout that, all of us here, whether watching now or later, we've learned how to pick ourselves up. We've learned how to love ourselves through those things. Through traumas and through all sorts of things, we've learned how to trust ourselves, how to love, how to be hopeful again, how to believe again and again and again. And so each one of us now, really, we are unbreakable. We can no longer be wounded. Perhaps we can still be wounded, but we cannot be kept down. Nobody can. No words, no actions, nothing that happens on the outside or on the inside of us can keep us down. For what do? We keep turning to love. We love more, not less. When hard things, when difficult things, when traumatic things, when challenging things happen in our life, we love more. We trust more. We sing more. We dance more. We believe more. We hope more. Feel this incredible tenacity, this incredible ability to stand up, this incredible ability to not be able to be put down or kept down in any way, shape, or form, regardless of what happens in the universe. Unshakable, unbreakable. This is who we are. And this is not who we were before we ventured into the physicalness. So now feel back into that part of yourself that was looking upon the void and was dreaming about the physical world. For that part of you is still here, still looking, still dreaming, and yet now the dreams have changed. The dreams are now real. They have substance. They're earthly. They are made of material that can be touched. For now there is experience of lifetimes upon lifetimes. There is now this incredible tenacity. There is now this incredible resilience that you didn't have before, that is real, that is tangible, that dances effortlessly with the cells of your body in unison. Feel how your cells in your body cooperate with you, how they want to hear you, how they want to feel your love, how they want to feel the song of your soul singing to them in gratitude, in joy, in dance, in harmony, for this incredible co-creation that enabled you to be so tangible, to be so unbreakable, to be so 100% trusting of you, of yourself, of who you are. Because this physical world gave you, through the experience, but not easy experience, not fluffy experience, but very gritty experience. It enabled you to be incredibly gritty. And you know that because you know how people react to you. Some people react to you in wonderful ways. Some people, they just walk away, for they cannot, they perhaps wish to have your grit. They feel that you are unbreakable. And so feel and look at all of the things that you're experiencing now in your life with from this kind of perspective that we've just traveled through and with and as. Just how different all of the things that looked big before look now. And just how you can actually now feel yourself dealing with them in such a different way. And how you are now holding your head a little bit higher, your spine, your body a little bit straighter. Because you felt that because you were faced with so many difficulties in your life, that perhaps there was something wrong with you, but no. Now you see that you faced those difficulties because it was something so right with you. And feel how right you are. And feel how now is also the time to change that history, the story in a new level again. And feel and fulfill that story with more love, with more self-appreciation for who you are, for what you've experienced, for the courage you had to dive so deeply into such experiences, for you wanted to feel, no, you felt unbreakable and unshakable, for this is who you are as consciousness. And yet you wanted to experience what that actually means. And you also wanted to experience the opposite. But now all of this comes back together. And you can feel how your story changes. Did you feel that you were not perhaps loved by your parents? Did you feel that the society when you were growing up was harsh? You were invisible, you weren't seen, you weren't noticed, you weren't heard. And there are parts of you that long for that. And now, so give yourself that. Give yourself, feel it right now, feel that acknowledgement. I am seen, for I see myself. I am loved, for I love myself. I am noticed, for I notice myself. I am cared for I care for myself. and feel how all of your body rejoices as you allow these feelings to permeate you. And you feel your solar plexus, there's perhaps some hardness in there. And you feel how it's freeing itself. And you feel perhaps the voice of authority still, authority that perhaps was harsh, that didn't love, that wasn't peaceful, that wanted to hurt, that wanted to damage, that wanted to make you be quiet and unseen. That voice, you feel it. And you say, no, 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 no more, that voice. You don't have a place in my reality anymore. And all of those kind of voices that you feel, you put them aside. And you feel how you come to the places where the outside world, so to speak, still holds some authority over you, and you bend your knees to that authority. You can perhaps still feel the voices that put you down, that are putting you in your place, and perhaps they're just well-meaning. They perhaps don't want to hurt you. It's just what they too were taught. And now even those voices you put aside. And now we come deeper. And we perhaps hear the voices of silence, the science, the voices of reason that say human life is a certain age of certain number of years. When diseases come, they cannot be undone. Some cannot be healed. Or perhaps there are just certain ways that can be healed or just live with, tolerated. Aging, it's inevitable. You hear those voices and you still perhaps bend your knee to that kind of authority. Because of course the science is the final authority. It knows. And so you should bend to it. Yes, there is incredible science for you, each one of you who are involved with creation of the universe. You are the incredible scientist, for unless your soul self was a scientist, it wouldn't be able to co-create the universe, would it? And so you let go of those authorities that perhaps still have a hold over you, the teachers, the voice of the teacher, the voice of the politicians, the voice of doctors, psychologists, you name it. Yes, they do know to a certain degree their stuff, and yet you are allowing the next level of your creatorship, the next level of you, the next level of your soul self to be real in your life. And that soul self does not live within those kind of confines. And yes, there can be fear there. What is it after this if I let go here of this control, if I let go of this authority, of the people perhaps that I respect, my parent that I love, my parents, my friends, the elders in my society? Am I being disrespectful if I let all of those go? No. But you don't have to go into a battle with them. It is all these walls, the voices, the spaces that you have within which you have limited yourself on the inside. That's what we're talking about. So we are today, right now, right here, letting go of more of those borders within you and allowing more and more of your own authority in. Your own self-authority. Allow as never before. Have courage to step out into those spaces as you've never done before, for it is in those new spaces that you will find things that you seek, perhaps self-healing, Perhaps you're still grappling with certain things that you cannot transform, that you cannot heal, that you cannot change. Or simply just for the joy of things, perhaps you are the one who has already transformed all you want to transform. And you're just looking for the next level, the new experience. For each one of us, there comes that time where we don't actually have any more things to do, to heal, to transform, but we simply then become us, even more in a way that we are aware of who we are. And we just want to enjoy, we just want to laugh, we want to dance, we want to go be gritty with life. We want to enjoy life, its fullness, its incredible richness, its incredible panache, its incredible joy with it's as if it's playing with us, as it is showing itself to us, as it is revealing itself to us, dancing with us in a new and intimate ways, more and more. And it is not that there is more and more life, it's just that we're more expanded and we can feel and we can enjoy and we can be and we can laugh without any bounds. And so we are going into new spaces of ourselves on the inside. Don't be afraid. Take courage. There is stuff behind that wall that you had never crossed before. What is behind? What is on the other side? More of you. That's what is on the other side. And can you handle it? Yes. Can you handle that much authority? Yes. Can you, because it is your own self-authority. Can you handle that much freedom? Yes. Can you handle that much love? Yes. Yes, you can. For it is not going to run you over like some wild, crazy dinosaur stomping around. It can come in gentle and yet passionate. It can come in quiet and yet so loud with its rich and deep harmonies. And you can feel it. And you can smell it and you can see it and taste it. All its flavors, all its sounds, the music, the song of the soul, the next level. Let us take these deep breaths with this, for it is exciting to be going to these new spaces. And here you were, you thought that perhaps we're going to be doing some same old stuff. No, not today. For too much has changed, too much has transformed. You have changed in the last few months to such a degree that you no longer, when you look in a mirror, perhaps, and you no longer even recognize yourself. You don't recognize your thoughts, your feelings. Perhaps you look at a picture of yourself from 2 years ago and you don't recognize that person anymore. For the last few months, the last year, the last 2 years have been huge. And now is the time to open even more. And as you open, it all comes in. Not only for you, but for humanity, for the world, for the nature, for the universe. And not only that you're doing all these things for others, but it will help you. It helps you because as you're opening yourself, then all of these incredible creative ideas come in, the incredible new inventions in such a way that you have not even dreamed of before. When before you were perhaps concerned for environment. And yet these levels of understanding, these levels of science, these levels of creativity that are now available for people to work and with and through and as, you will not recognize this earth in 10, 20 years' time. And it is not that these new things will be, because they are so new, of such high level, of such high vibrational level, they work with nature, not against nature. And so you can look forward to having more clean air, more free energy that doesn't use and abuse nature, gentleness and playfulness and friendliness with other creatures that inhabit this incredible world of yours. Science that assists you in growing new limbs. Did you know that this kind of science is already here? They can grow new organs, regrow them. For the scientists already are working on such things with great success. And the most refreshing things is that the science and spirituality, what was called the spirituality, are coming together, cooperating rather than working against or looking at the body as mechanics, but looking at it from this holistic perspective where this whole body of all these individual cells are working together, singing to your song, to your soul song, communicating, experiencing, cooperating in harmony. And so they can now work with that, and there will be even more of that. So that perhaps, let's say someone loses the hand, they can instruct the cells and then leave them alone for them to regrow the whole hand. For the cells know your body, at that level knows how to do this. You know all of the blueprints, the instructions, and you know when to stop. Things like this that you didn't think were possible. And yet all of these kind of things already were possible in your world by other creatures. And so it's not, they're showing you that things are possible. Look at the babies. You as a baby, you've grown yourself, you've grown your arms, your legs, your brain, your beautiful eyes, hair, all, you've grown everything, yes, you. And so you can expand your awareness into those levels where all of that is happening, where you have the knowledge as to how you do it, and you can become aware of that. How do you interact with nature, with trees, with birds, with elements at a very intimate level? And it doesn't mean for you, perhaps, yes, other people, the scientists and all of them, they might have to build machinery, perhaps even, the machinery that will be clean, not polluting, to affect those things. And yet you, each one of you here today or listening to this later, drawn to this later, you can be you're aware of things at a whole new level. You don't actually need machines. You don't need medical instruments and these kind of things to transform things in your body, to be youthing, to be healthy, to feel, to transform any pain. You can transform the body without any of those things, even though you can also utilize those things as well. For all is here for you, to serve you in any way that you wish to play with it. And so we ask you today, we ask you now to visit, to explore those spaces of yourself where those kind of things are possible, and feel them, How does it feel to be at such a level where you exist already, but to be aware of where do you interact so intimately and closely with your body, with your cells, as to be directing them, to be communicating with them, directing them to rebuild your liver, rebuild your heart, rebuild your skin in a new way, in a whole new way. And not only do the cells of your body, not only are they already capable of doing that, for remember, they're just following your instructions to age, to get ill. They're following the disharmonies of your body. Not your body, but your inner world. And so now allow the harmonies, allow the love, the beautiful concerto of the soul song to play with them, to massage them, to direct them into rebuilding your body healthy, strong, vital, filled with vitality, able to interact and carry and express new levels of you, for new levels of you as a soul are embodying. There has been so much downloading in the last few months. The instructions from you to you, not from someone else, but from you to you, from the more expanded you to you, who are the most immediately connected to this physical world. The instructions, the blueprints of new things, of new levels of feeling, of new levels of experiencing, of subtlety, creativity. All of this is now ready for you to unpack. And for you to unpack these new things, it requires of you that you be okay with change, okay with unknown, okay with doing things differently. Allow yourself to do something differently every day. Allow yourself to perceive from a different point of view. Allow new ideas, completely new ideas, for that is needed for these next levels. Completely new ideas. Allow yourself to let go of the old ideas of what is possible. And doubt, it is time now truly to let that go. For truly no longer looks good on you. It is now outdated, very, very outdated. It is like as if you insisted, perhaps, some people have interest in the old tapes, for those that still know what those are, the tape recorders, and you would insist to play your music on those. When you now have access to technology that can bring you incredible harmonies, clarity of the sound, clarity between different instruments. They don't break. They're not as cumbersome. And so, yes, perhaps some have historical interest in those things, but let just that be a hobby. And yet in your daily life, allow these new instrumentation that is your light body to be part of your daily life. And allow when something happens that you don't understand, be okay with that. Now is the time to not really dissect everything anymore. There is no need anymore even for the mind to understand things, to try to work them out in your mind with words and to describe them. A lot of this stuff now is okay to just be it's okay to just be with it, to allow it. And because with your intuition, with your knowingness, that is good and right and in perfect timing and in harmony. You don't have to dissect it. You don't have to break it apart or give it new words or language to it. Just let it be, because there is just too much going on within you and around you for the mind to even be able to keep up. So rest your mind, let it go. Just perhaps listen to some music or, something relaxing. Go lie in the grass, watch the clouds go by and relax your mind in that way. Or, if you have access to the beach, go lie on the beach, listen to the waves and just let the mind relax and give it a break. It doesn't need to do as much as what it used to. It doesn't need to understand. It doesn't need to know. It doesn't even need to notice. For you are now firmly in other, how can I say, you're aware of these other parts of yourself that know more at a level that is perhaps more like nature knows. Nature doesn't need mind, and yet it all beautifully works. So you are feeling yourself, knowing yourself, allowing yourself to be in that space. Much more of you is in that space now where you just know, and you don't have to write it out and with words and with mind. And so that's a big, big change. And it takes a while to get used to. But as you're getting used to it, your life becomes much easier, very much a simplicity, very much this innate trust and flowing and ease. Because you're not fighting with yourself. You're not dissecting yourself. You're not questioning yourself. You're just flowing and allowing and feeling and touching life and loving and allowing life to love you back. And now as you are aware of the presence of yourself, and you are perhaps aware of your past story of this lifetime or other lifetimes, and you can feel how even that story that perhaps before was harsh, was hard, was loveless, abandoned. You feel it now, how you can feel that baby who you were, the child, the innocent child, the teenager, all of those parts of yourself now have, so to speak, new parents. And the parents that are loving, that know how to love, that are not afraid of it. There's no more that harsh disciplinarian or abandoning. Those feelings, they're all gone. Feel how you have transformed your past and how you have freed your past and how you are allowing all these parts of yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor, so to speak, which is love. And you can hear the sound of your baby laughing with joy, with freedom, with peace, with abandonment, not in that word of trauma, but like it can give itself, it can abandon itself to life, because it is so feeling so secure in itself, so secure in life, so secure with the elders, with people it has around it. Now, for you have transformed your story and you've allowed love to be present. And so all the parts of you All what you thought were history, they're here in the now moment with you, no longer in pain, no longer crying out for attention, no longer wanting to be seen, because now they are. They are seen. They have the parents, yet the eternal parents, your soul, yourself, your continual presence, your continual loving gaze, attention that you give to you as you are now, and also all the parts. Who are you? The part that was 1 day old, the part that was just born, the part that was in a mom's tummy, the part that was 3 months old, 6 months old, 1 year old, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, it matters not, all are here with you now. And so now we also invite those future parts of ourselves. So if you're in your 30s, 20s, invite the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100-year-old, because they are wise. They have lived through it all. They know it all. And they too are your support. And feel yourself now just how incredibly supported you are from all of yourself, the wholeness of you, how you are supported, how you are honored, how you are cherished, how all of these parts of you also cheer you on all of your daily adventures. And how welcome you are, welcomed at your home, that you've created this safe space, that you nurture, that you keep expanding this home to encompass more and more of you on the inside and more of you on the outside. And you can feel all of these parts and even the aspects and facets and all these parts of you, parallel lifetimes. They're cheering you. They're singing to you. They're encouraging you. And you as this collective, just like your physical body, the collective of the cells, that each are doing its job and contributing and cooperating to be creating on a constant moment by moment basis this incredible body that you have, that you are, that you're in, that you live and experience and express yourself through this physical body. In the same way, your inner parts of yourself, the wholeness of you, the many of you, are cheering you on. For you have brought this incredible peace, cooperation, and harmony into your own inner world. And because of all of the tribulations, because of all of the experiences that you have given yourself, now you don't no longer have to ask, why did I create that? Why did I create that pain? Why did I create that traumatic experience? Why did I create that? Now you know. You created those so that you can have the practical experience of being gritty, of being unshakable, of being unbreakable, of your trust being unbreakable, trust in your own self. For you have gone deeper than anyone. You have gone deep into the darkness, into the shadows, into the hell. And you stood up. Over and over again, you stood up again and again. And you loved. And you started again and again. And now you know that you are unbreakable, that your trust is unbreakable. Feel it. Feel how incredible this feeling is. And know now within this space that you feel yourself, this you can be this every day, regardless of what happens in the world, with other people, with even those ones close, within your body as it's changing, as it's still transmuting, to enable more and more of light body, as it's still perhaps releasing. And yet, regardless of all of that, you can feel yourself unshakable, unbreakable, resilient, in your own power, in your own sovereign space, in your own garden of sovereign space where nobody else is authority, but it is always you. And it may still be parts of you that you may not still be aware of. And that's when you are asked to just let go, to allow, to give in to yourself. But it is not some kind of authority coming from outside of you. It is not some politician. It is not some multi-billionaire. It is not the medical authority. It is not scientific authority. It is no one, whether they mean well or not. It is you who decide what goes in your sovereign space. It is you who decide what you believe, what you don't believe. It is you who decides what is possible and what is not possible. It is you who decides what is right and what is not so right. It is you who decide what is your truth and what is not your truth. Feel this kind of authority that is so absolute and that is so incredibly rare in the human species. Incredibly rare to feel this kind of authority, self-authority, and you feel how you no longer have to battle anything outside of yourself, what you perceive as outside of yourself, because you operate from this level of cooperation, from this level of self-harmony, from this level of wholeness of your own self. And this is what oneness is. Oneness of self. Dear friends, it is time to really feel that. It is time to experience that. And also how you can be so many and yet oneness of self. That singularity of you, of who you are. That has not ever been experienced on earth. So again, you are a pioneer. Again, you're trying out, experimenting like the great scientist that you are. All right, I'm going to have a bit of a drink now. Oh, nice. So, dear friends, and you thought the journey has come to an end, have you not? Because you've transformed so much, you've changed so much, you integrated so much, you have been so conscious. And for some of you that are much younger in years in this lifetime, you have come into this earth already very much like this. For each one of us have our own perfect timing, whether we're 20, whether we're 50, whether we're 90, we have our own perfect timing for our own reasons why we've gone on a journey as we have. But still, for each one of us, it's been a huge, huge change in the last couple of decades. And what would feel like, wow, we've come to an end, so now there's some kind of rest. But dear friends, We've said this 2 years ago. Wow, you're only at the beginning. And now, again, we are only at the beginning. Again, another beginning. Last 2 years have been pretty unprecedented. Now, you are in for another ride. Exciting ride. So, dear friends, let us all buckle our seats and just enjoy what is coming, what we've created, what we are creating, co-creating, allowing, and expressing these new levels of creativity, these new levels of fun, of playing, of abundance, of flow, friendships, celebrations. Play in these kind of spaces, but then you create them. We invite you to play. And dear friends, so we leave you in this way for now. Until next time, enjoy and dance and sing and play. Until next time, thank you.